It is literally at the darkest moment, right, when it dawns. You don't really even get to the next level to your darkest moments. One of the things that I think is important is that a lot of you young people, you going this route and you like, I don't see it. You're not supposed to see it. Like, you're supposed to stay focused on what you focus on, and when you get to where you get to, you'll understand why you were doing this in the first place. It is literally at the darkest moment. So that's why I'm saying stop tripping when it get dark and you running. You're running from your success. I never quit because I realized, like, why would you do something for 10 years then quit? Why would you do something for 11 years then quit? So for a lot of you, if you was gonna quit, you should have quit when you put your first grand in it. You like 20,000 deep now. You like 9,800 hours deep into it. It only takes 10,000 hours. It is not the darkest moment that's the problem. You the problem, and your perspective is the problem. You thought you was just gonna have a dream and a goal, and you were just gonna wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life punks you. Life punks you and say, do you really want this? I'm gonna give your wife MS. Do you really want this? 5 of your aunts gonna die of cancer. Do you really want this? You gonna lose friends. Do you really want this? Your mama gonna be pissed when you write the book about your family. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Cousins gonna abandon you. People that you used to be like this with gonna think you bougie and don't wanna deal with you. It's a part of it, but I paid too much. If I was gonna quit, I would have quit in the abandoned building when I wanted to commit suicide and take my life. And I don't talk about that because I don't want to give nobody ideas. I should have quit when I heard my voice say, your mama don't want you, your own daddy don't want you, take your life. I got through that, so why I'm gonna quit over a grade, an F on a grade? Why would I quit because I didn't do well on the master's degree? Come on. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for it. And guess what? People rock with me because I know what you've been through and I didn't quit. I know what you've been through and I didn't stop. I know what you've been through and I didn't whine. You know what I did? I got my reward for it. And not only did I get a reward for it, my wife got a reward for it. My kids got a reward for it. They're gonna live a different life because of what I went through. And had I quit, I would have been just like my father who left me with nothing. I'd have been just like my grandfather who quit. So I've been in circles and in families and environments where people take L's. I don't take L's no more. What is it that you need to be focusing on? And I want you to focus on it 3 times a day. All right? So the thing I need to be focusing on right now is not having a say or a viewpoint. Right? With my wife, no more say. So I got to wake up every morning, afternoon, and night and say, I do not have a say. I do not have a viewpoint. Let me do it over again. You think I'm playing? Because the only time we get into it is when I have a viewpoint. And I grew up thinking I should have a viewpoint. And now I realize the only viewpoint you need to have is for yourself. I done got into it with my wife about my son's wedding. That ain't my wedding. Do whatever you want to do. Why am I even in it? It ain't mine. I ain't got to walk down, got to do jack. 3-hour debate about it. At the end of the day, she gonna win anyway. So why did I even get bruised to let her have her way? So I wake up every day now. I want you to focus. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I wake up every day, say a soft answer turns away wrath. You do not have opinion. A soft answer turns away wrath. You do not have a say. You will win the war and not the battle. You don't never need to win another battle. Win the war. What's the war? My son's getting married. What's the war? Have enough money for create jobs for my kids. That's the war. What they do with the money, that's their battle. That's not my battle no more. You spend it wisely, that's on you. You blow it, that's on you. Take care of my wife, get her to California. That's the war. The battle is what the house looked like on the inside. That's not my fight. Whatever you want in there, have it. That's up to you. Just if I can get one room where I can put all my football helmets, all the places I spoke, all the paraphernalia, jersey, signed jersey, I just need one wall, you can have the rest of the house. Why? Because I'd rather for you to have it the way you want it and have a marriage than to have all the rooms look like I have and be by myself. So 3 times a day, you do not, I wake up, I promise, as soon as I get, you do not have a say. You do not have a viewpoint. The only viewpoint you have is for Eric. You told yourself to get up at 3, it's 3, get your butt up. You cannot tell nobody else to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't tell nobody else how they need to grind. They grind look like they grind. You can't tell nobody, you need to get up early. Maybe they don't, who knows? You know what you need to do, you can have a say for you. I don't have a say about what my kids do no more, that's up to them. They will deal with the consequences of every decision they make. And guess what? When they head get bust up against the wall, guess who they're gonna come to and that's when I can give my view. When you put your energy and focus on what you don't have, when you put it on fears, when you're doing all the negative, I could still be negative with my wife right now. I took ownership, like, you know what? Whatever, like, I solve problems, that's what I do. That's what I do for a living, I solve them. So here go another problem. We get into it about stuff that don't even make sense because I got a view, she got a view. I love it. I asked my daughter, I was like, Jada, for real, what you think, my daughter was like, Dad, Mom got a view and she a high D, she got a strong view. You ain't about to change her and you got a view and that's the problem. She got a view, you got a view. So I looked at it as when you go, Carl, can you go back to the graph? I want to show y'all something. This is why this thing is so deep, right? Now, when you go back to this graph, that's my wife, 99.99. My wife is a high D and a high C. As a high D and as a high C, what you'll learn about my wife is that she's not even wired to change. Now hear me, I'm telling you, when I study. My wife does not have the capacity as a D to change. What actually makes her strong is that she does not change. That's her strength. So why am I asking her to change when my wife ain't even the one that like to do assessments? She's like, I don't need none of that junk, I'm sweet. So God was like, she don't even have the capacity to change. You are high I. You have the capacity to change. I wired you to change. I wired you to compromise. I didn't wire her to compromise. Let me say that because somebody's feelings getting hurt right now. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm the boat, my wife's the anchor. You don't want the anchor moving. You don't want the anchor to move. If you the boat, you make the, if you the boat, you turn. You don't ask the anchor to move because if the anchor moves, you're not gonna get nowhere. So by looking at the test, I realized my wife don't have no I, no S. She does not have the capacity to change. When she says something, she has thought it through so well that's why she thought it through, because she thought it through. She legitimately sat there and thought it through, and she came up with the best scenario, and so she's like, this is where we're going with. But watch this, when I bought the house, she's so D, because you get the D's confused. She's so D that she knew, I don't need to deal with that. You deal with that. Success is an obligation. Responsible, what did I tell you? I'm responsible for my wife's health. I'm responsible for the home. Listen to me, my wife ain't never do nothing with my kids in school. She was like, you take that. I was so dumb, I didn't even realize she was giving me stuff. I'm just being real. When you stuck on stupid, you don't even see it. She said it on the podcast. Sometimes when you're so close to a thing, you can't even see it. Sometimes when you're so close to a thing and people trying to tell you, you can't see it because you're too close to it. And I dare you to study, and we don't want to study because we don't want to discover what we need to change. Invest money, read and study. Guys, I got my PhD, master's degree, 4-year degree. Let me tell you what school did. Everybody like, you don't need to go to school. Some of us need to go to school. Why? Because I never knew how to read and study. Studying is a discipline. There are things that just don't come by osmosis. It's a discipline. And the videos blew up. TGIM blew up. Why? Because of the three of us, Carl had the most C, and Carl was a biology major. So he would literally take the videos in and dissect them like he was in the lab. Business is a science. Marriage is a science. Parenting is a science. Health is a science. For real, you got to read and study, y'all. It's a science.